Morning children, welcome back to our English class. Today let us have preview of the last video and we will learn new lesson. Yes children, today we have preview of the last video. In last video we learnt about genders. What did we learn? Genders. In genders there are 4 types of genders. One is masculine gender, feminine gender, common gender and neuter gender. In masculine gender we use for male persons. Male persons, for example, man, boy, brother, father, uncle. For feminine gender we use for female nouns. Female nouns are sister, mother, aunt, girl. Yes children, we use these things, these names. For common gender we use baby, doctor, teacher, lawyer. Yes children, we use these things to indicate common gender. And the last one is neuter gender. Neuter gender we use for non-living things which has no life. No life, which cannot move or walk or shake. Yes children, those are non-living things. We use pronoun it for neuter gender. It is a book. It is a chalk. It is a boat. So these things which has no life. Understand? These are the things we last watch in the video. Yes children? Yes. Today we will learn new lesson about let's write date 11/11/2020. Understand? Sometimes we pluck flowers. Where do we pluck the flowers? Yes, from the garden. So, where will be the garden? Yes, in our house or behind the house or somewhere in our place. Yes, children. So here we are going to talk about a lesson in house garden. What is that? In house garden. Do everyone know what is meaning of garden? Yes, where we keep plants. Yes, children. This is called in-house garden. Before that, we have a warm-up page. You have to complete this warm-up page. You have all kinds of flowers here, different kinds of flowers. And the names were given here in the box. You collect the name from this box and write each one the space provided, means the box given below. In-house garden. We are listening to the house garden. So, house garden means the garden which is in a house. Which is in a house. Through the words, we learn the lesson. Yes, children? Sneaking. First word is sneaking. Sneaking means looking here and there. Sneaking means looking here and there. Who is coming in silently into the kitchen from the door in the veranda? Veranda. Veranda means a hall outside or inside the house. Yes, children, veranda. Jumping over the small plants, bow bow, shouted Perry to scare grandma. What is the girl name? Pari. What did she do? Jumped on the small plants. Jumped on small plants. And in order to scare. Scare means frighten. Scare means frighten. Sneaking means looking here and there. Looking here and there. Silently she is walking through the veranda. Walking through the veranda and jumping the small plants. Jumping on the small plants. And who is walking, doing like that? Yes, Pari. Pari was sneaking here and there. Sneaking means here and there. Pari was sneaking, jumping on the small plants and going through the veranda, making the sound of bow bow in order to scare grandmother. In order to scare grandmother. Scare means frighten grandmother. To frighten grandmother. అంటే భయపెట్టడం. Understand children? Scare means భయపెడతాం. వెనకాలగా వెళ్ళి భయపెట్టేదాన్ని scare అంటాం. So who was sneaking? Yes, Pari was sneaking and she is walking through the veranda where she was jumping on the small plants and making the sound of bow wow. And whom does she want to scare? Yes, she wants to scare grandma. She wants to scare grandma. Understand? It was 8 a.m. and Pari had woken up to the delicious smell from the kitchen. Delicious smell means very good smell. Nice smell. Delicious. Delicious, not delicious. Delicious smell from the kitchen means the good smell. For the good smell, Pari woke up at 8 o'clock. Where the smell is coming from? Where did the smell come from? Yes, the smell come from the kitchen. For the good smell, who woke up? Yes, Pari woke up and she was sneaking and walking through the veranda, jumping on the small plants and making the sound of bow wow in order to scare grandma. Yes, children? Yes. Where did the delicious smell come? Yes, the delicious smell come from the kitchen. The delicious smell come from the kitchen. Grandmother's house was always a special place to go to, especially because of good food to eat and the big house in the outskirts to run and in. Outskirts means out of the city. Outskirts means out of the city. Means not inside the town. Means outside the town. Where we have spacious place to do all the things. So, grandmother's house is a very special place. Whose house is special house? Yes, grandmother's house is a special house to go and enjoy. To go and enjoy. Why? Because grandmother can cook good food more than our mother. Yes. So Pari was telling, it was very good to go to grandmother's house to eat good food and to play, because the house is placed outskirts of the city. Outskirts of the city. Yes, children. He hugged grandma and wished her good morning. Hugged means doing like this, hugging. And grandmother. So, why are there new tomatoes and chili plants in the veranda? Pari was asking grandmother, why did you keep tomato plants and chili plants. Why did you keep tomato and chili plants in the veranda? Pari asked curiously, means strangely, interestingly. She asked grandmother, what plant did she see in the veranda? What plants did she see in the veranda? Yes, tomato and chili plants she saw in the veranda. And she asked grandmother, why did you keep these tomato and chili plants? Yes, children. She asked. Who asked grandmother? Pari asked grandmother. Now Pari wondered why grandma wouldn't buy vegetables from the market and instead would grow her own. So grandmother don't buy vegetables in the market. Who is not buying vegetables in the market? Yes, grandmother doesn't buy vegetables in the market. Yes, but she has her own garden. She has her own garden. There she keep all types of vegetables. Yes, children. Yes, who has the garden in her house? Yes, grandmother has the garden in her house. Is it, children? So, who saw this tomato and chili plants in the veranda? Pari saw. And whom did she ask? Yes, she asked grandmother why all these tomato and chili plants are here. And who doesn't buy vegetables in the market? Yes, grandmother doesn't buy vegetables in the market. Instead, she has her own garden. She has her own garden. Yes, children. In the own garden, what we do? We keep all types of plants like vegetables, fruits and flowers also. Yes, whatever necessary things, we pluck it in our garden. Likewise, she is maintaining a garden. She is maintaining a garden. Understand? I have difficulty getting fresh food. The vegetables I buy from the market nowadays have either the smell of chemicals or stale, said grandma disappointedly. Disappointedly means sadly. Disappointedly means sadly. Now, Pari is asking grandmother. Pari is asking grandmother, why are you not buying vegetables in the market? Now, grandmother is replying, I want to eat fresh vegetables, but the vegetables in the market are not fresh nowadays. Nowadays means these days. The vegetables which we buy in the market are not fresh. But if I grow up my own garden, I could get fresh vegetables. Yes, children. She is answering to Pari. Who wants to eat fresh vegetables? Yes, grandmother wants to take only fresh vegetables. But how are the vegetables in the market? Yes, the vegetables in the market are not fresh and it is the smell of stale. It is giving stale. Stale means bad smell. Stale means bad smell. The vegetables are stale. Stale means bad smell. Which vegetables gives this smell? Yes, the vegetables in the market gives stale smell, means bad smell. So, and also it smells chemical. Chemical. What is this? Chemical. Chemical means the medicines which we give for plants to grow. Yes, children, the medicines which we give plants to grow. Yes, children, the vegetables in the market are smelling stale and chemical. Stale and chemical. The smell of stale and chemical. Who is not buying vegetables in the market? Yes, grandmother was not buying vegetables in the market. Why didn't she buy vegetables in the market? Because the vegetables in the market were stale and chemical. Nowadays, stale and chemical. So she was not buying any vegetables in the market. And she started to keep a garden, rooftop garden. Which one? Rooftop garden means on the terrace, and above the house she wanted to make a garden. She added, Grandma took Patty to the terrace and showed the other vegetables she was growing. Excited, Patty began plucking lady's finger, bitter gourd, carrots and leafy vegetables. They also plucked chilies and tomatoes in the veranda. Patty had never seen carrot plants and was fascinated to see that carrots are root vegetables and grow under the ground. Bitter gourds are climbers which made the wall look so green and beautiful. So, now what work she has done is she was maintaining a rooftop garden. Now, grandmother took Patty and she took to the terrace. She took to the terrace. Terrace means rooftop above the house. Then she was making all types of vegetables. Understand? Lady's fingers, bitter gourds, carrots, everything. All she was growing all the plants. And Patty was surprised to see all the plants on the terrace. Very surprised. Who was surprised? Patty was surprised. And what did she ask? She understood that the carrots are the root vegetables. What are the root vegetables? Carrot or root vegetable. Carrots are root vegetables. And bitter gourds are climbers. Bitter gourds are climbers. Yes, bitter gourds are climbers. Sorry. Bitter gourds are climbers. Understand, children? Carrots are root vegetables and bitter gourds climber. This bitter gourd can climb on the wall. When it climbs on the wall, it looks very green and beautiful. Understand? Then carrot is root vegetable. Who learned this? Yes, Patty learned that carrots are root vegetables and bitter gourd is climber. Yes, children. And they could find tomatoes and chili in their veranda. Yes, children. Did you understand? Yes. On getting back to the house, Patty hurriedly ran to wash a vegetable and put it in her mouth. Ow! Patty screamed, chewing a raw bitter gourd and made a sour face. Grandma had a good laugh and told Patty that some food tasted yum only after cooking. Understand? So, she plucked all the vegetables from the terrace like bitter gourd, lady's fingers, carrots and tomatoes and chilies from the veranda. She rushed, means she ran fast and washed the vegetable and she took and bite. She took and bite a vegetable. Then she made a sound ow, like. So why she was making the sound? Because the bitter gourd taste is bitter, bitter. Then grandma looked at Parry and started to laugh. She explained her that some vegetables are yummy after cooking. Some vegetables are yummy after cooking. Some vegetables are could eat raw vegetables also we could eat, but some vegetables we have to cook well, then only it gives yummy taste, means yummy, very good taste. Yes children, now she came to know that bitter gourd is very bitter. Yes children, the food is good and tasty, exclaimed Parry during lunch. Then the food whatever she was eating in the lunchtime, it was very good and tasty. Yes children, in this lesson we talked about a girl, Parry, who came to her grandmother's house. In order to scare grandmother, she was jumping over the plants like tomato and chili plants in the veranda. Understand? And she woke up the smell of delicious smell, the good smell of from the kitchen, the good smell from the kitchen, the delicious smell from the kitchen. And what did she do? She asked, why were these tomato and chili plants in the veranda? And she was explaining that coming to our grandmother's house is very happy because we could enjoy well in our grandmother's house. Not only enjoying the good food we eat in our grandmother's house. Good food. Where we get good food? Yes, especially in our grandmother's house. Yes, children. And also the house is built outskirts of the town. Outskirts of the town means outside the town, where they have spacious place to do all types of things. Understand? But and also Parry was telling one thing about the grandmother. Grandmother doesn't buy any vegetables from the market because the vegetables from the market are giving stale and chemical smell. Stale and chemical smell. Further, she was not buying any vegetables in the market. She started to make up a own garden, that is also a rooftop garden. Then grandmother took Parry with her to the terrace and showed all the plants. Parry understood that carrots are root vegetables and bitter gourds are climbers. This climber plant, which was climbing on the wall, became very beautiful. And she plucked the vegetable. She started to wash and she started to eat. But she ate the bitter gourd. The taste of bitter gourd is very bitter. Then she made noise. Ow. Then grandmother laughed at her and said, some vegetables are yummy after cooking and some we could eat raw. Understand? Then the lunch was very tasty and delicious. Yes, today we will stop till this. Next we will continue in the next video. Understand children? You write all these 17 words in your notebook, and also I will give you questions regarding this lesson. You write those question answers in your notebook and send to my WhatsApp number. Yes children? Hi children, write the answers for these questions and send to me. Thank you.